Before we begin, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any future recaps. Every morning, a man named Joseph starts his day before sunrise. He walks with a limp, a reminder of a long-ago accident from his youth. His mornings begin with milking cows and taking care of his elderly mother, who's battling cancer. Once the farm chores are done, Joseph heads to his job as a high school teacher, where he must also break the sad news about the school's upcoming closure. During class, the door suddenly opens and a new student walks in, interrupting him. She introduces herself as Catherine, a 12th grader. Joseph greets her warmly and begins his history lesson. Later that evening, Joseph visits his colleague, Larry, to discuss student assignments. Their conversation reveals that the two are romantically involved. Larry hints that she's ready to settle down and start a new chapter together, but Joseph, now middle-aged, seems hesitant. His mind is clouded by worries about his uncertain future, especially since the school's closure will soon leave him unemployed. A few days later, a war veteran named Nathan arrives at Joseph's farm with his daughter, Catherine. Nathan asks if Joseph can keep Catherine's horse in his barn, offering $175 per month for the favor. Joseph gladly agrees. Catherine excitedly runs off to fetch her horse, while Nathan hands Joseph a book as a thank you gift. Before leaving, Nathan apologizes for rushing off, explaining he has other matters to attend to. Catherine stays behind to play with the horse, and later, Joseph gives her a ride home. During the drive, they chat casually, with Catherine showing great curiosity about Joseph's life and hobbies. The next day, when Joseph returns home, he finds Dr. Evan visiting his mother and thanks him for bringing her medicine. During their talk, the doctor mentions that Nathan's family recently bought the town's pharmacy. He also shares some gossip. Catherine's mother is an alcoholic, and Nathan has been doing his best to help her recover. Joseph, uninterested in gossip, quickly changes the subject. As Dr. Evan leaves, he and Joseph discuss his mother's condition. The doctor gently explains that her time is limited. She's refused chemotherapy because the hospital is too far away. The following afternoon, Joseph checks if Catherine has come to see her horse. When he doesn't find her outside, he goes upstairs and discovers her asleep on a pile of straw. When Joseph quietly sits nearby, Catherine opens her eyes and gives him a strange, unreadable look that makes him uneasy. Then, out of nowhere, she asks if anyone else is in the barn. When Joseph says no, Catherine suddenly behaves boldly, leaving him flustered and uncomfortable. Joseph quickly walks out, but as he stands outside thinking about his lonely, empty life, he hesitates and then goes back inside. Soon, they are seen playing together on a seesaw under the dim barn lights, laughter echoing in the quiet night. Later that night, Joseph plays the piano while his mother slowly enters the room. She tells him gently that her health is getting worse and she doesn't have much time left. She urges him to marry Rosalie, his old flame. When Joseph was young, he had feelings for Rosalie, but she married someone else. Now that she's divorced, his mother believes it's fate giving him a second chance. Joseph listens quietly, unsure of what to say. The next day in class, Joseph gives his students a test. When Catherine hands in her paper, she slips him a note asking to meet after school. On the way home, Joseph scolds her for her inappropriate behavior. Catherine, in response, shocks him by claiming she's pregnant. Joseph panics. He slams the brakes, jumps out of the car, and chases her, but then she laughs and says it was a joke. As he turns to look at her, she starts acting provocatively again, and though he tries to resist, he finds himself drawn in once more. That encounter leaves Joseph both confused and strangely alive, like he's experiencing spring again after years of winter. The next day, Catherine visits Joseph again at his barn, behaving even more strangely than before. One thing leads to another, and after their encounter, they both fall asleep in the hay, completely careless about being discovered. Suddenly, Dr. Evan walks in and is shocked by what he sees. He wakes Joseph up and storms out, deeply disappointed. Joseph rushes after him and catches up at a nearby restaurant, desperate to explain. Evan listens but remains firm. He tells Joseph that, as a man, he understands how it could happen, but insists their relationship must stop immediately. He warns Joseph that people will never accept such a situation and that it would only destroy his life. Later, at a school party, Joseph sees Catherine talking and laughing with Rosalie's teenage son, Robert. When Rosalie joins them, Joseph sits quietly at the table. A few moments later, Catherine comes over, compliments Rosalie on having such a handsome son, but under the table, she starts teasing Joseph with her foot. He tries to stay calm and pretend nothing's happening. After the event, Joseph drives Rosalie home. On the way, she tells him that she really likes Catherine and hopes she one day become his daughter-in-law and aware of what's really happening. When they arrive, she invites him in, hinting at intimacy, but Joseph gently refuses despite her persistence. Hurt and confused, Rosalie gets out of the car and leaves without saying goodbye. That night, Joseph stays by his mother's side. Realizing her condition is critical, he decides to do what she wished. He rushes to Rosalie's house, apologizes sincerely, and tells her he's ready to marry her. The two share a heartfelt conversation and finally reconcile, spending the night together. A few days later, Joseph's mother passes away. Friends and relatives gather for her funeral. After the ceremony, Rosalie helps organize the condolence letters left by visitors. But one letter catches her eye. It's from Catherine. Reading the affectionate words she wrote to Joseph, Rosalie's face turns pale with fury. She storms out of the house to confront him. Joseph tries to calm her, insisting that Catherine is too young and means nothing compared to her. But his words only make Rosalie angrier. She yells, slaps him, and leaves in tears. That night, Joseph lies weak and broken on the floor when Catherine appears. He tells her that Rosalie found out about them. Instead of feeling sorry, Catherine smiles and says maybe this means they can finally be together. But Joseph pushes her away, saying he doesn't want to marry anyone. Catherine storms upstairs, furious. After a while, Joseph follows her to the cafeteria, where she tries to seduce him again. He tells her directly that Rosalie matters more to him. Catherine's eyes fill with rage as she warns him that he'll regret rejecting her before running out of the house. The next morning, Joseph goes to Rosalie's house, hoping to make peace. But Rosalie, now emotionally drained, says she doesn't understand why she keeps sacrificing for him when he only brings her pain. She kicks him out, but he refuses to leave, sitting silently on her sofa. At school, after the students leave, Robert approaches Joseph and quietly warns him that Nathan knows everything, that he's coming for him soon. Terrified, Joseph rushes home, grabs his hunting rifle, and hides in the attic. As night falls, he hears a car pulling up outside. It's Nathan. Joseph shouts from above, asking if he's armed. Nathan replies no, but Joseph spots another person in the car, Nathan's wife. The couple enters the house to talk. Nathan confronts Joseph, asking if he plans to marry Catherine. Joseph refuses instantly, admitting their affair but saying it was a mistake driven by loneliness and Catherine's beauty. To his surprise, Nathan shows compassion. He admits he partly understands, saying even he can't comprehend his daughter's behavior. He believes Joseph is a decent man who was manipulated by Catherine. But Nathan's wife doesn't share that view. She lashes out, furious and disgusted. Nathan calms her down and takes her home. Once they leave, Catherine suddenly reappears in the doorway. She asks again if Joseph will marry her. When he says no, explaining that their age difference makes it impossible, she doesn't argue. Instead, she tells him to step outside. She has a surprise for him. Joseph rushes out to find the barn in flames. He saves Catherine's horse, but it panics and dies in the fire. Catherine runs off crying, and Joseph finds her sitting silently. She admits she burned the saddle out of anger, not meaning harm. Joseph comforts her and drives her home in silence. The next day, Joseph decides to rebuild his life. He confesses everything to Rosalie, realizing too late how much he loves her. Touched, she forgives him, and they reunite, finally ready to start a peaceful new chapter together. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more awesome movie recaps.